How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Nun Dalet, Daf 54. Of Masechta Kiddushin, friends. Yo, friends. Today. What do you want me to tell you about today? Hektish, Meister Sheni, Reb Meir, Reb Yehuda. Be'etzem, what do you want me to tell you? When it comes to Meister Sheni, Reb Meir says that Bein B'Shogeg, Bein B'Mezid, it's not Kiddushin because Meister Mammon Kavohu. Reb Yehuda says that B'Shogeg, it's not Kiddushin. B'Mezid, it is Kiddushin. When it comes to Hektish, Reb Meir says B'Shogeg, it's not Kiddushin. B'Mezid, it is Kiddushin. Reb Yehuda says Fakert. B'Shogeg, it is Kiddushin. Wait, what? B'Shogeg, it is Kiddushin. B'Mezid, it's not Kiddushin. What do you want from me? I didn't make the rules. Alright, but this is the sugyas. This is the sugyas. This is today's sugyas. Alright. So, we're going to start at the very bottom of Daf Nun Gimel and Beis Amar Rav. Now we're already at the top of Nun Dalet Amar Aleph. Chazarna al kol stadim shor Reb Meir v'lo matzinu hektish b'shogeg ein mischalel b'mezid mischalel. U'mishnasenu b'kosnos kehuna shelo balu ho v'nisnu lehanos boen lefi shelo nitnu tor l'malachi asharis. Who can explain what this means? Who can explain to me what this means? Okay. So when it comes to hektish, so right, something that is holy, it has the belongs to the Beis Hamikdash. So if a fellow is mekadesh a fella with hektish, so Meir says if it does it by accident, so lo kiddush, it's not kiddushin. If he does it on purpose, it is kiddushin. Meaning, because if he does it by accident, it's not me'ila, right? Normally, if you get benefit from hektish, if you use hektish for your own purposes, so it would be me'ila. You'd have to bring a korban osher me'ilos, and it would no longer be hektish anymore. And therefore, by being mekadesh, a fellow with hektish, so it would no longer be hektish, and you would be over on me'ila, and then she would be mekudeshes because it's not hektish anymore. But it says Reb Meir that if a fellow is mekadesh a fellow with hektish by accident, so then actually it is not me'ila, and it remains hektish, and therefore she is not mekudeshes because it's hektish, it's not chulin. Now, if he does it on purpose, if he deliberately is mekadesh a fellow with hektish, so then it's mechulal, it becomes non-hektish anymore, and it's valid kiddushin. So now says the Gemara, friends, a very technical daf. Again, there's not much I could do about it. As I've been saying, we learn every page, including this one. Omer Rab Chazarno. I don't mind the page. It's a geschmacke page. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining or anything, although I am complaining, but it's Keilo I'm complaining, but I'm not really complaining. I'm just whining. But I'm not even really whining. You get what I'm saying? I'm just being dramatic. So, Omer Rav, Chazarnu al kol tzadim shor Reb Meir. So, we looked at all the sides of Reb Meir's opinion. Again, Reb Meir says that if mekadesh a fella with hektish by accident, it's not good kiddushin. It remains hektish, it's not good kiddushin. On purpose, it's no longer hektish, and it is good kiddushin, because since it's not hektish, it could be used as kiddushin. V'lo matzinu, but we don't find this, that hektish b'shogeg ein mischalel, that by hektish, if he benefits from it by accident, then it does not become chulin, and it remains hektish, and it cannot be used for kiddushin. But b'mezid, but if he does it on purpose, then mischalel, and it can be used as kiddushin in this case. We haven't found such a thing. Rather, Reb Meir's opinion, Be'etzem, is whether it's b'shogeg, whether it's b'mezid, it's no longer hektish, it becomes mischalel. So therefore, how do we explain our Mishnah where Rav Meir says that if it's b'shogeg, then it is mischal. If it's shogeg, then it's not mischalel and it remains hektish and it's not good kiddushin. Our Mishnah is talking about the clothing of the priests, the clothing of the kohanim that are intact, shelo balu, that are not worn out, i.e. they're usable, they're intact. And because they're intact, there's no me'ilah. Why is there no me'ilah? Because because the Torah wasn't given to ministering angels. What do ministering angels have to do with anything? The clothing of the priest is kadosh, right? It's hektish. It's property of the Beis Hamikdash. It has holiness of the Kedushas Beis Hamikdash. It's hektish. It's holy. Now, so therefore, you can't get benefit out from these clothing other than what they're meant to be used for. The clothing is meant to be used during the service in the temple, and the only permissible use in theory for these clothing is in the service in the temple. What happens the second that you're finished doing your service in the temple? The instant you're finished doing the service in the temple, you haven't even had a chance to change yet. All of a sudden, you're getting benefit from the clothing that you're wearing, and you're not using them in the service. You're done with the service. But says the Gemara, the Torah wasn't given for ministering angels. The Torah was given to human beings. Human beings need to take a minute to change. Right? We understand that that it's going to take the Kohanim a minute to get changed. And that during that minute or 5 minutes or whatever it is, yes, they're going to be getting benefit from their clothing. And therefore built in to these holy clothing that the Kohanim wear is the understanding that yes, there is going to be benefit from this clothing outside of the literal service that they're doing, because, the second that the service ends, it's not like immediately, somehow magically, all of a sudden they're already changed. It's going to take a few minutes to change. They're going to be getting benefit from the clothing. That's just the way it is. And therefore, when it comes to the clothing of the Kohanim, there is no hekdesh b'shogeg, right? I mean, if you do it deliberately, that's a different story. But by accident, if just like the Kohanim, okay, what can they do? They need to get changed. They're not intentionally getting benefit from hekdesh, but it happens. So also, like in our Mishnah, also, if you're mekadesh a fella by accident with clothing of the priests, so then eina mikudeshes, because it's not me'ilah, because built into the clothing is the understanding that there's going to be benefit from it outside of strictly, there's going to be sort of incidental benefit from them. And therefore, if you accidentally get benefit from this clothing of the Kohanim to be mekadesh a fella with, so it's not me'ilah. You're not over me'ilah. You don't have to bring a korban oshem me'ilos, and therefore it remains hekdesh, and it is not good kiddushin. That was a mouthful. So again, so start from the beginning. So Amar Rav Chazaynu called Stadim Shor Reb Meir. We looked at all the different sides of Reb Meir. V'lo motzinu hekdesh b'shogeg ein mischalel b'meizid mischalel. We couldn't find this concept that the hekdesh, if it's by accident, then it remains hekdesh, but if it's by purpose, then it's no longer hekdesh. And therefore, the only way to understand it, u'mishnasenu b'kosnos kehuna shelo balu, it must be that our Mishnah, when we say that b'shogeg not mikudeshes, it's talking about the clothing of the Kohanim that are intact and they're usable and they're good, intact, usable clothing. Since by definition you're going to be getting benefit from them outside of the strictly outside of the service, like there's going to be that changing period. Because the Torah was not given to the ministering angels. Chevra, I learned this daf I learned out of Chasana. I learned Daf Nundal Roman Aleph. I learned actually a shtickle before the Chasana, before I left. I started learning it before I left. I finished learning Nun Daled Amud Aleph on the bus. I went to Chasna, it was near Ashdod. And then when I got off, and then during the chuppah, I learned Daf Nun Daled Amud Beis. Okay. Remember, if ever you see me at a wedding, maybe we can learn B'chavrusa during the chuppah or something. Alright. Bring your Gemara, that's what I always say. If ever I know somebody's going to be at a wedding, I say, bring your Gemara. We could learn. Tashma, come in here. Kosnus Kahuna Shebalu Ein Me'alin Boim Divrei Meir. You hear this? Reb Meir says that the priestly garments Shebalu, that they got worn out. Mo'alin Boim. So there is a din me'ila. If you accidentally get benefit from them, so then you have to bring a korban osher me'ilas. My lab, afilu lo balu. And we want to say, wait, so maybe just like when they're worn out, there's a din me'ila. So maybe when they're not worn out, when they're usable, in good shape, there's also no din. There also is a din me'ila. And not like we wanted to explain Reb Meir that there would not be a din me'ila because lo nit notar l'malach yasharis lo balu davka. No. When it says that there's a din me'ila by the priestly garments that are worn out, it's specifically because they're worn out. If they're not worn out and they're usable, then there is no din me'ila because of shalonit netorah the malachi asharis. Toshma, come in here. Moyalim b'chadatim v'moyalim ba'atikim. Oh, who could tell me what this is talking about? Chavi, do you remember Masechta Shkolim? I think, what do you think? Who thinks that? I think that if Masechta Shkolim was 130 pages, like Masechta Yevamis, I think by far Masechta Shkolim would be the most difficult Masechta in Shas. That Masechta was really hard. Anyways, what's the noise I hear in the background? I don't know. Whatever. It's not that distracting. Anyways, so I don't know. Did somebody change some settings here? Anyways, so Toshma me'alim b'chadatim v'me'alim ba'atikim. Who could tell me what this means? So the machzis are shekels. So every order you have to bring a machzis a shekel, and you have to do it that year. Wait 1 second. This noise is driving me crazy. 1 second. Okay, I've solved the noise problem. Okay, here we go. Back to what we're doing over here. All right. So take 3 or something. I don't know. Toshma. Mayalim b'chadatim v'mayalim ba'atikim. Oh, so that's nice. It's quiet now. That's very nice. So who could tell me what this is talking about? So every order there, if I remember correctly, I mean, in Masechta Shkolim, we learned that a long time ago, and that was hard stuff. So every order they would bring like the machzis a shekel, and the machzis a shekel was used to pay for the public, the communal offerings. Now, if you didn't bring the machzis a shekel that year, so you bring it the next year. But when you bring it a year late, we can't use it anymore for the korbanos tzibur, for the communal offerings. So instead, we use it for other things like to fix like buildings and walls in Jerusalem and things like that. So again, take 4. Toshma, me'alim b'chadatim v'me'alim ba'atikim. So there's a din me'ila when it comes to the new shekels. I think that's what I was doing when we were learning Masechta Shkolim. I was saying shekel. I think shekel comes from Monty Python. I think one of their skits. So shekel. So me'alim b'chadatim. So there's a din me'ila by the new shekels because those are used for korbanos tzibur, for korbanos. So the hektish din me'ila. If you get benefit from it by accident, so there's me'ila. Again, me'ila is only by accident. If it's on purpose, it's not me'ila. Ve'ein me'alim ba'atikim, there's no din me'ila when it comes to the older coins. Reb Meir Omer, but Reb Meir Hot Gezok says, how do you say? Hot Gezok, I think is past tense. Omer, what is Omer? Zok to Reb Meir. So Reb Meir Zok. No, you don't have to say it's Reb Meir zokt. No, zokt Reb Meir. Zokt Reb Meir. Omer ma'al, what? Reb Meir says Reb Meir, ma'alin af ba'atikim, that there can be din me'ilah even by the coins, the old coins that are used for like upkeep projects, like Jerusalem upkeep projects. Shari Reb Meir Omer, because Reb Meir would say ma'alim b'shari al-lishka, that there is a din me'ilah by the leftovers of the lishka. Basically, they would take all of these coins and put them in an office or a room or something, and then they would clear it out 3 times in the year. Whatever it wasn't, any surplus coins that weren't used for communal offerings, so that's the shiari alishka. Those are the leftover coins, and then they would use that for like Jerusalem upkeep projects, walls and buildings and things. Ve'amai. But how come? Reb Meir had said when it comes to the clothing of the Kohanim that there's no din me'ilah because lo nidda Torah l'malachi asharis, because it's impossible to not inadvertently get benefit from this clothing. So shouldn't the same thing apply over here? Why is Reb Meir saying that there's a din me'ilah by these coins that are used for Jerusalem upkeep? Ve'amai nemahol v'nisnu lehanos. Well, since it's impossible to avoid inadvertent benefit from the walls of Jerusalem. I mean, it's a hot day, you're standing next to the wall in the shade, all of a sudden you're getting benefit from it. Because the Torah was not given to the Malachi Asharis. So we should say, based on the same logic, the same svara that Reb Meir uses for the clothing of the Kohanim, he should use the same logic for the walls of Jerusalem. And there should not be a din me'ilah. And that would apply to these old coins. But why does Reb Meir say that there is a din me'ilah by these coins? Because the upkeep of the walls of the city of Jerusalem and the I think Migdalos are probably building. That's what I'm assuming. Buildings. They come from the leftover shkolim. The Tananas, we learn in the Mishnah, the walls of Jerusalem and the buildings, all the public needs, the public works, the needs of the city, come from these leftover coins. So why is Reb Meir saying that there's no din me'ilah? I'm sorry, fakert. Why is Reb Meir saying that there is a din me'ilah by these coins? There should not be a din me'ilah, since it's inevitable that people are going to get benefit from the walls of Jerusalem. Okay, don't say that it's Reb Meir who says that there's a din me'ilah. Say that it's Reb Yehuda, because Reb Meir's opinion would you're right. Reb Meir's opinion would be lo nidna Torah l'malachi asharis, and he would say that there's no din me'ilah. Tashma, come in here. The Tanya, we learn in the Brayso. Amr b'Shmuel bar Reb Yitzchak avnei Yerushalayim, right? The stones of Jerusalem, shenashu, that, I don't know, fell down. Mo'alim boim divrei Meir. Reb Meir says that there's a din me'ilah by the stones of Jerusalem. That there's a din me'ilah from the stones of Jerusalem. But one second, why is there din me'ilah by the stones of Jerusalem? Inevitably, people are going to get benefit from them. Lo tema Reb Meir. Don't say that Reb Meir says that there's a din me'ilah. Ela ema Reb Yehuda. Rather say that it's Rabbi Yehuda who says that there's a din me'ilah. Rabbi Yehuda, but how can it be Rabbi Yehuda? Yerushalayim Mekadsha. According to Rabbi Yehuda, is Jerusalem, does it have the Kedusha of Hekdish? Does, would the stones of Jerusalem be Hekdish? Ve'otnan, we learn in the Mishnah, Ki Imra, that if a fellow says that pizza is also to him like a korban, Kedirim, Ke'etzim, like where they store the animals for korbanos, the wood, Ke'ishim, like the fire, the Mizbeach, I guess. I assume that's what it means. Alternatively, maybe it's like the korbanos, but Ke'ishim, Ke'isho Shem Mizbeach, look, we take Rashi, okay, or whatever that is. Like the fire of the Mizbeach, Kehechol, like the sanctuary, Kamizbeach, like the altar, Ki Yerushalayim, pizza is to him like Jerusalem. These are all neders. Pizza will be usher to him just like these things. Rabbi Yehuda Omer says, Rabbi Yehuda, Kol Omer Yerushalayim, Lo Omer Klum. If a fellow says that pizza is forbidden to him like Yerushalayim, right? If he says Jerusalem, Lo Omer Klum, he says nothing, it's irrelevant. No, maybe according to Rabbi Yehuda, Yerushalayim is holy, is kadosh, but it's only because he didn't say Ki Yerushalayim, he said Yerushalayim. But Ve'atani, Rabbi Yehuda Omer Kol Omer Ki Yerushalayim, Lo Omer Klum. We have a brisa where explicitly Rabbi Yehuda says anybody says Ki Yerushalayim, it's irrelevant. You have to, in order for pizza to be also, you have to say that it's also like something that is offered in Jerusalem, like a korban, but not like Jerusalem. So we see that according to this, Rabbi Yehuda's opinion is that Jerusalem itself does not have the status of hektish, and therefore the stones of Jerusalem does not have the status of hektish. So again, we said that there is a din me'ilah by the stones of Jerusalem. We said that would be a problem according to Reb Meir, because Reb Meir says lo nitna Torah l'malachi asharis, and inevitably people are going to get benefit from the stones of Jerusalem. So we say, you know what? It's not Reb Meir who says that there's a din me'ilah; it's Rabbi Yehuda. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, we see from here that Jerusalem itself, the stones of Jerusalem, are not kadosh. Don't have a din of hektish. So there are two. There's a broken telephone regarding the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. One time it explains that Rabbi Yehuda's opinion is that the stones of Jerusalem would have a din of hektish. Now the other one is that Jerusalem itself would not have a din of hektish. All right. Very, very interesting stuff, right? Let's go weiter. Amar Ula says, Ula Mishmei de Bar Pora. Very nice. Ula says in the name of Bar Pora. Omer Hayi Reb Meir, the Reb Meir would say, Hekdish b'mezid mischal, that hekdish on purpose, it becomes null. If you get benefit from it on purpose, it would no longer be hekdish. B'shogeg ein mischal, but b'shogeg, it remains, if you get benefit from hekdish b'shogeg, it remains hekdish. V'lo armu b'shogeg mischal el elinin korban. And when we say that if you get benefit from hektish by accident, mischalel, it's no longer hektish. No, it doesn't mean it is still hektish. It just means lenient korban that it's just our way of saying that you're going to have to bring a korban me'ilah. So if you get benefit from hektish by accident, it remains hektish, but you have to bring a korban me'ilah. Frek the Gemara in a korban bavad. V'chimei acher de ein mischalel korban b'may mechayv. I don't understand if he's not. I'm sorry. V'chimei acher de mischalel korban b'may mechayv. Why would he be chayiv a korban if he wasn't Michal the Hekdish? Right? The whole point of bringing a korban would be if you have something that was Hekdish, and because you accidentally made it no longer Hekdish, you have to bring a Asher Me'ilos for that. But if we're saying that if you accidentally get benefit from Hekdish, then it remains Hekdish, it's not Mischal, so why do you have to bring a korban Me'ilah then? Elikiyasa Ravin, when Ravin came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel Parish, Mishmei de Bar Pora, he explained from Bar Pora, Omer, Hay Reb Meir, Reb Meir would say, Hekdish b'mezid mischalel. Okay, Hekdish, if you get benefit from it intentionally, so then it's no longer Hekdish. B'shogeg ein mischalel, but by accident it does not become, it remains Hekdish. V'lo Omer b'shogeg mischalel, when do we say that if you accidentally get benefit from hektish, then it's no longer hektish, and you have to bring an osher me'ilos if you eat it? And if there's hektish, if there's food, meat that was hektish, and you ate it, and it no longer exists, so then yeah, you're gonna have to bring. So in that case, it wouldn't, it doesn't exist anymore, and you would have to bring an osher me'ilos. But if you get benefit from hektish by accident, so then it would remain hektish. You wouldn't have to bring korban osher me'ilos. Amar of Nachman. Omer Vada Bar Ahava says of Nachman Vada Bar Ahava Halache K'Reb Meir b'Maiser Ol V'Sosam Lantana Kavose. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Babylon. Ah, dang it. Rabbi Yisrael, are you there, Rabbi Yisrael? Halacha K'Reb Meir b'Maiser Ol V'Sosam Lantana Kavose. That halacha is like Reb Meir when it comes to Maiser Sheni. Since we have a Stam Mishnah like Reb Meir, Halacha K'Reb Yehuda b'Hekdish. I'm nervous that somebody's here. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to hekdish, hol v'sosam lantana kavose, since we have a stam brisa like a Tana who is Stam like Rabbi Yehuda. So remember, so let's read that again. Amar of Nachman, Amar Vada bar Haba, Halacha Reb Meir b'Meiser. The halacha is like Reb Meir when it comes to Meiser, that Meiser Mammon Gavohi, that Meiser Sheni is it belongs to God and it doesn't belong to you. And therefore, if your fellow's Makadosh a fellow with Meiser Sheni, Bein B'Shogeg, Bein B'Mezid, Eina Mekudeshes, because it's not his to be Mekadesh a fellow with. But halacha Rabbi Yehuda, the hektish halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to hektish, that b'shogeg mischalel b'mezid eino mischalel. Hol v'sasim lon tanakavase, since we have a stam Mishnah, I guess, like Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to hektish. What is this stam Mishnah when it comes to Meiser Sheni, that is like Reb Meir, who says that Meiser Mammon Gavohi, that Meiser belongs to God as opposed to the person? The Tanan is we learn in the Mishnah Kerem Revoi. Who could tell me what that is? Kerem Revoi is that if you have a vineyard, so of course for the first 3 years you cannot eat the fruits because it's Orla, and the 4th year you can eat the fruits in Jerusalem. You can eat the grapes in Jerusalem. Beishamai says Beishamai ein lo chomesh. If you redeem the grapes, if you transfer the value of the grapes onto money, so you can bring the money to Jerusalem, you do not need to add a 5th, a chomesh. Vein lo beer. There's no beer. What does that mean? Beer meisus. Who can tell me what beer meisus is? The truth is, I have to look it up. If I don't even know that I understand it really. But basically, when you separate like trumas and meisus from your stuff, so apparently, So Meiser Sheni, for example, you have to bring to Jerusalem. And if, so there's a 7-year Shemitah cycle on years, 1, 2, 4, and 5. So there's always Trumas and Meisers, but then there's Meiser Sheni. On years 3 and 6 there's Meiser Ani. Anyways, if you separate like Meiser Sheni, you have to bring it to Jerusalem. If you didn't bring it on years 1 and 2, by year 3, you gotta bring it, right? And additionally, like, apparently, I guess, like Truma, for example, you could separate your Truma, 2% of your field, and give it to whichever Kohen you want. So let's say you're like waiting, I don't know, maybe your cousin is a Kohen and he's coming or something, and you're waiting for him to come, and it's been 2 years or whatever, you're still waiting for him to give him his Meiser or something, his Truma. Comes the 3rd year, you got to get rid of all this stuff. So that doesn't apply to Kerem Revai though. If you have like Kerem Revai that you have to bring to Jerusalem, and we're saying it comes year 3, so while you would have to kind of, make a plan by year 3 for your Meiser Sheni, that wouldn't be the case by Kerem Revai. Okay. So ein lo chomesh vein lo beer. Beisil omim yesh lo. Beisil says it does have a chomesh and it does have a beer, right? I'll tell you, so because let's just say this for now, because Beisil compares Kerem Revai, Neter Revai. Kerem Revai is the 4th year for a vineyard. Neter Revai is the 4th year for other fruit trees. So that's Neter Revai. So Beis Hillel learns out. We're going to see in a second that Beis Hillel learns Neter Revai and Kerem Revai from Meiser Sheni. And therefore, just like Meiser Sheni has a chomesh, just like if you want to redeem it, just like Meiser Sheni has right, you have to get rid of it by the 3rd year, by the 6th year. So, Beis Hillel says that the same would apply to Kerem Revai, whereas Beis Shammai doesn't learn one from the other, and therefore he says these things don't apply to Kerem Revai. Beis Shammai omrim yeshlo shove pered v'yeshlo olulos. Beis Shammai says that Kerem Revai has a peret and olulos. If you're, when you're harvesting it, any grapes that like kind of fall on the floor or whatever, you have to leave for the poor people. V'yeshlo olulos, and also like deformed clusters of sorts, you have to leave for the poor people. Basil omim kula legas. Basil says, I meant to look this up, but I didn't. But I think the point is that you can't get any benefit from it. You can't get any benefit from it because it's mamon gavoh. My time with the Beis Hillel, how come Beis Hillel says what they say, that there's a chomesh, that there's biur, that you can't get any benefit from it? Because Gamri Kodesh mi meiser. Because Beis Hillel learns out a Gezer Shava. It says Kodesh Hilulim LaHashem by Neter Revai, and it says by Meiser Sheni, it says Kodesh LaHashem, so it says Kodesh in both places, and by Meiser Yesh Lo Chomesh V'Yesh Lo Bir, just like by Meiser Sheni, if you redeem it to bring the money to Jerusalem, you have to add a fifth, and also on year 3 and year 6, there's Bir, you have to get rid of all your Meisers by then. So Av Kerem Revai Yesh Lo Chomesh V'Yesh Lo Bir, also Kerem Revai, which we learn out from Meiser Sheni, as you add a Chomesh, if you redeem it, it has Bir. Uveshami Lo Gamre Kodesh Mi Meiser. And Beis Shammai do not learn out this Gezer Shava of Kodesh Mi Meiser. Vesil Omim Ki Meiser and Beis period. Now Vesil Omim Ki Meiser. So we had just said that Beis Hillel compares Neter Revai to Meiser. Meiser Sheni. Kiman Svira Lehu. Now who does Beis Hillel hold like? Ikra Rabbi Yehuda. If Beis Hillel holds like Rabbi Yehuda, Amai Kula Legas, then why can't you get any benefit from this Kerem Revai? Ha'omar Meiser Mammon Hedjio too. According to Rabbi Yehuda, Meiser Sheni is Mammon Hedjit. It belongs to the person. He can do whatever he wants with it. So it must be Elav Kurib Meir, period. Rather, it must be that Beis Hillel says that you cannot get any benefit from this Kerem Revai because we compare it to Meiser Sheni. Beis Hillel must hold like Reb Meir, which is Meiser Sheni is Mammon Gavoa, belongs to God, therefore he can't get any benefit from it. And so if we see, so Beis Hillel holding like Reb Meir is basically, of course, the halacha always follows Beis Hillel. So there you have it, that we pass that Beis Hillel holds like Reb Meir when it comes to Meiser Sheni, and therefore that is why we assume like Reb Meir that Meiser Sheni is Mammon Gavoa. Rabbi Yehuda behektish, and when we say like Rabbi Yehuda, that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to hektish, that when it comes to hektish, that if you get benefit by accident, it is mischalel, it is no longer hektish, but on purpose it remains hektish. What is the what's the Mishnah supporting Rabbi Yehuda? Titnan, as we learn in a Mishnah, Shilach biyad pikeach. So if the Gizber, if the temple treasury sent some hekdish with a shaliach, a shaliach who's not a cherishat v'kohen, a shaliach who's a bardas, and they send him with some money of hekdish to go buy pizza. V'nizkar and before he got to the pizza shop, the messenger, as well as the treasury, as well as the Gizber, they remembered, wait, this is hekdish money. We can't use it to buy pizza, but nonetheless, they go ahead and they buy pizza. Chenvani mo'al lichshayotzi. Guess who needs to bring a korban osher me'ilah? Not the Gizber, not the treasury, not the messenger, because both of them remembered in advance, so they're mezidin. They deliberately bought pizza with the hektish money. Guess who has to bring in osher milos? It's the pizza store owner, who then goes and uses the money that he received from the messenger to buy pizza. He then goes and he uses it to buy his own pizza, and he gets benefit from the money, and then he's the one who's going to be chayav a korban osher milah. So we see that because so here's a Stam Mishnah that is saying that the treasury, that the messenger, they are not chayav an osher milah. They are not mo'il because it was intentional. So we see that b'mezid, that makes no difference. It would remain hektish. It's not mischalel. But the pizza shop owner who then accidentally used the money to buy something, so he is the one who's over on me'ilah, and it is mischalel. So that is a proof for Rabbi Yehuda that b'shogeg mischalel b'mezid ein mischalel. Rabbi Yehuda b'meiser milo tnan. But one second, do we not have a Mishnah that supports Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to Meiser Sheni? We said that by Meiser Sheni it's like Reb Meir. It's like Reb Meir. Rabbi Yehuda holds like Beis Hillel holds like Reb Meir, that you can't get any benefit from Meiser Sheni. But I could bring you a Mishnah that seems to be like Rabbi Yehuda, who says that Meiser is Mammon Hedjetu, belongs to the people. V'atnam, we learn in the Mishnah, Hapode Meiser Sheni Shelo, that if a fellow redeems his Meiser Sheni, right, he transfers the value onto money. Most of all of Chamishiso, so he adds a fifth when he transfers the value onto money. Bein Mishelo, that's whether the Meiser Sheni is his Meiser Sheni that he separated from his own produce. Bein Shenitan Lo B'matone, or whether, we're assuming for now what this means, is that, or whether the Meiser Sheni was given to him as a gift. Shimon gives Ruvain a gift of Meiser Sheni. Money. Who's the author of this Mishnah? Ilema Reb Meir. If we say that it's Reb Meir who says that Meiser Sheni is Mammon Gavoa, belongs to the Eibishter, he, Mimotzi Yoev Le B'matano. How can Shimon give Meiser Sheni to Ruvain as a gift? Ve'omar Meiser Mammon Gavoahu. But Reb Meir's opinion is that Meiser is Mammon Gavoa. It doesn't belong to Shimon, it belongs to the Eibishter. How can he just give it as a gift to Ruvain? Elalav, Reb Yehuda. Rather, it must be that the author of the Mishnah is Reb Yehuda, who says a Meiser Mammon Hedjetu, and that is why Shimon can give the Meiser Sheni to Ruvain Lo. Nisht, the Olam Reb Meir, really the Mishnah is Reb Meir, that Meiser Mammon Gavoahu. So here what are we talking about? How is Shimon giving Meiser Sheni to Ruvain as a gift? Kigon de Yoev Niale Betivle. No, Shimon didn't give Meiser Sheni to Ruvain. He gave a bunch of Tevel to Ruvain. Now obviously included in that Tevel is going to be Meiser Sheni that needs to be separated. But that is okay. Because Sover, I guess Rav Meir holds, Matanus shelo hurmu k'mi shelo hurmu damyan, that so long as the Meiser Sheni has not yet been separated, it is not considered Meiser Sheni. So long as it hasn't been separated, there won't be an issue of Mammon Gavoa. There won't be an issue of Mammon Gavoa. Only once it's separated is it going to be an issue of you would be unable to give it as a gift. Okay, so we said it's Rav Meir, that Mishnah. Toshma, coming here. Hapode neterevai shelo, that a fellow who redeems his neterevai, mosiv olav chamishiso. Right, a fellow has neterevai. Neterevai, it's the 4th year. He needs to bring it to Jerusalem, and instead he transfers the value onto money, and he brings that to Jerusalem. He adds a 5th. Bein mishalo, whether it's his neterevai, bein shenitan lo b'matone, or whether it was given to him as a gift. Now money, who's the author of this Mishnah? From the fact that we said that you have to add a 5th, it's because, like we said earlier, we're comparing neterevai to Meiser Sheni, because Kodesh Kodesh. And just like Meiser Sheni you add a 5th, also neterevai you add a 5th, and yet we're saying that it can be given as a gift, right? It says, Ben shenitan lo b'matana, whether it was given to him as a gift. Money, who's the author of this Mishnah, or of this Brisa? Ilema Reb Meir, if you say it's Reb Meir, Mimotzi Yoev Le. Let me see something. No, I think it's a Mishnah. Mimotzi Yoev Le. If it's Reb Meir, how could he receive neterevai as a gift? Ve'agamri Kodesh Kodesh Mimaiser. We learn out from, right, clearly that the author of this Mishnah, wait, is it a Mishnah or, 1 second. Yeah, the Tana, I think it's a Mishnah. Clearly learns out from Meiser, because we're saying that you add a 5th, which means that it's being learned out from Meiser Sheni. And according to Meir, you can't give Meiser Sheni or neterevai as a gift. So Lav, Rab Yehuda, so it must be Rab Yehuda, and therefore Meiser is Mammon Hedjet. No, so we said no, La'olam, Rab Meir, no, really the Mishnah is Rab Meir. V'hachab ma'iskin on here, what are we talking about? Kigon, the Yoav Kshu Smotter, that Shimon gave the neterevai to Ruvain when, so apparently we're talking about Kerem Revai, grapes, when they were still smutter. Smutter is when they're like just, emerging as grapes, but they're not yet actually grapes. And we're saying that because they were still just smutter, so therefore they're not yet considered Kerem Revai, and they're not yet considered Mammon Gavoa. Udlok Rabbi Yossi, and it's not like Rabbi Yossi, the Omar smutter aser mipnei shu pri, It's not like Rabbi Yossi who says that smutter is already considered like a fruit, in which case it would already be considered Kerem Mavai. But no, we're saying that because it was given, Shimon gave it to Reuven when it was just smutter, so when it was not yet proper grapes, so that is why it is not an issue yet. But and we can say that the Mishnah is Reb Meir. Tashma Kamir, Moshe Chemenu Meiser Besela. If Reuven was taking Meiser Sheni from Shimon, and at the time the Meiser Sheni that he took was worth a sela, and he did a kinyan meshicha, v'lo hispik livdoso, but Reuven didn't have an opportunity he didn't get around to redeeming it. Ad she'amad b'shtayim. Now all of a sudden this Meiser Sheni is not worth one sela, it's worth two selas. No sin sela u'mistaker b'sela. He just needs to redeem it for one sela, not two selas, because at the time they made the kinyan meshicha, it was only one sela. U'meiser Sheni shelo, and the Meiser Sheni belongs to him. Money, who is the author of this Mishnah? Ilema Reb Meir, if you say it's Reb Meir, amai mistaker b'sela v'nosan hakesev v'kamlo. If it's Reb Meir, Meiser Sheni is Mammon Gavoa. It belongs to God, which means that it's hektish. And therefore, when Reuven does a kinyan meshicha on the Meiser Sheni from when Reuven, who is that? Oh, it's Ashley. They're back. They're peeking on me. They're back. Thank God, they're back at the end. And now they're coming down. Here comes Ashley.
Welcome to Babylon Talmud. Today we're doing Masechta, whatever, Amud Daf Ches.
That was Ashley, ladies and gentlemen. So then, where are we again? Oh, so if it's Reb Meir, so if it's Reb Meir, so now you got a notification. Everything's like driving me crazy all at once. Okay, so if it's Meiser Sheni, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. If it's Meiser Sheni, if it's according to Reb Meir, so then if it's Meiser Sheni, so then it's Mammon Gavoa. If it's Mammon Gavoa, then it's Hektish. And Hektish, as we know, the only way to acquire Hektish, right, to be Poda Hektish, is with money, not with a kinyan meshicha. Only if it's Mammon Hedjit, only if it belongs to the people can you be Kona Metalton with the kinyan meshicha. But if it's Hektish, there's only one way to be Poda Hektish, and that's with money. And therefore, from the fact that we're saying that there was a kinyan meshicha, it must be that it's Mammon Hedjit, like Rabbi Yehuda, not like Reb Meir. Elalav Rabbi Yehuda, so we see that it's like Rabbi Yehuda. La'olam Rabbi Yehuda, and the Gemara concedes, yes, that Mishnah is a Stam Mishnah like Rabbi Yehuda when it comes to Meiser Sheni and not like Reb Meir. But, however, v'hacha chad stame, v'hacha trei stame. However, there are two Stam Mishnahs like Reb Meir, where there's only one Stam Mishnah like Rabbi Yehuda. Ve'istame davka mali chad stama mali trei stame. But says the Gemara, I don't care how many Stam Mishnahs there are like Reb Meir versus Rabbi Yehuda. The thing is that the halacha is like a Stam Mishnah. And if we have a Stam Mishnah like Rabbi Yehuda, then the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. I don't care how many, who's got how many. Meaning that, to say that, he's got more Stam Mishnahs and he's got less Stam Mishnahs, it doesn't work like that. The concept is that if you have a Stam Mishnah, then the halacha is like a Stam Mishnah. There's no but who has how many? It's not a competition like that. So rather, Amr Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak halacha ki Reb Meir, rather says Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak that the halacha is like Reb Meir, ho v'tnan b'v'chirta kavase. So it says Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, look, there's a Mishnah in Edios, in Masechta Edios, like Reb Meir, that Meiser Sheni is Mammon Gavoa, and that is settled. When there's a halacha in Masechta Edios, which was the day that Reb Gamliel was removed from being the Nasi in the Beis HaMedrash, and like there were, everything was like settled on that day. If there's a Mishnah in Edios like Reb Meir, so then the halacha is like Reb Meir, and that's that. Friends, that was Daf Nun Dal of Masechta Kiddushin. We did a lot of stuff on Daf Nun Dal of Masechta Kiddushin. Complicated stuff. We're talking about Reb Meir and Rabbi Yehuda, Hektish, Meiser Sheni. ultimately we said that the halacha is like Reb Meir when it comes to Meiser Sheni, that the halacha is like Reb Yehuda when it comes to Hektish. Friends, that was Daf Nun Dal of Masechta Kiddushin. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.